All right, guys, it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We're in Math Lesson 10. It's on page 55 in your book. Here's what your Lesson 10 power-up looked like. Notice all the work, all the mental math, all of the problem solving of the day, and the top's all checked. Now you flip it over and you divide it into fourths. I did that for you on my board. You need to do that on your paper. So have that one out. We're on page 55. Here comes our objectives for today. Our objectives is to use subtraction to find a missing number in an addition problem. So we have an addition problem, but something's missing. Okay, I had 3 birds in a cage at home, and my wife bought me some more birds, and now I have a total of 7. 3 birds plus some more birds that my wife bought me, and now I have 7 birds in a cage at home. Not really, thank goodness. And so I have a missing add-in. Hopefully some of you guys say in your brain, 3 plus what number equals 7, but today I'm going to teach you to flip this over and go 7 minus 3 equals 4. And then if we put the 4 in there, 3 plus 4 is 7. So that's how we're going to find the missing add-in. We're also going to determine the equation for a word problem. So which equation would work best for a word problem? That's example 3. We'll look at it in a second. All right, so here comes a few problems that we have for today for our missing add-ins. They're a little bit tougher than my little birdie one. We got 24 plus some number equals 37. Whenever we have a missing add-in problem, we're going to subtract. What are we going to do? Subtract. Now remember, when you say these things out loud, you remember them longer and faster. So let's say it together. Missing add-in, we're going to subtract. I like to say it like this. You always have an add-in plus an add-in equals the sum. And so in a problem like this, we have an add-in plus an add-in equals a sum. If we have the sum in one add-in, we're going to subtract. So here, flip it over. Remember, for a subtraction problem, the biggest number always has to be on top. And then we can subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Check the problem out. Let's fit the 13 where the m was. Now the m is actually called a variable. That's high school math when they call it a variable. And we'll throw it in there. 13 replaces the m. 4 plus 3 is 7. Yes, we did it right. 2 plus 1 is 3. Yes, we did it right. So our missing add-in is 13, and you'd actually write it like this. M equals 13. Saxon wants to step it up once because you guys are 4th graders this year. Notice they wrote one horizontally for us. Whenever they write it horizontally, we're going to replace it vertically. 15 plus 20 plus 6 plus, and that's a W, that's our variable, equals 55. Now whenever we have more than one number up here, we have to add first, then subtract. So let's take all these numbers and add them up. 15 plus 20 plus 6. 15 plus 6 is 11. 1 down, 1 up. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 more is 4. So now what our problem really looks like is all these numbers on top equal 41. I'm still adding the W, and it still equals 55. So add the numbers that we know, then set up our new problem. All those numbers together equals 41 plus W. Now we have a missing add-in problem where we have a variable there. And so now we're going to do what? Anytime we have a missing add-in, we're going to subtract. 55 minus 41. And when we subtract 5 minus 1, we get 4, and 5 minus 4 equals 1, and our answer is 14. Let's go ahead and put it in there for the W. See if it equals 55. 5 plus, let's use what we learned last week. Let's make this a 10. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 5 more is 15. 5 down, 1 up. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. 55. We know what we did it right. W equals 14. So this is what I call a two-step problem. Step 1, add. Now we have a missing add-in, so flip it over. Step 2, subtract. All right, now we got to read number 3 out of your book. If you're following along, it's on page 57 in your book. We got a baseball team. It has 9 players. 4 of the players, the first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, and third base, are called infielders. Which equation can be used to find the number of players on a team that are not infielders? So we have 2 numbers so far. We said 4 are infielders and 9 is the total. And so I like to set my problems up like this. When we're trying to find the equation, because you guys probably all said in your mind, 9 minus 4 is 5. But did you know there wasn't any one there that said 9 minus 4? They're all addition problems. So it's a missing add-in problem. So we're going to have some number plus some other number equals a total. And we said the total was 9. Then we said we have some infielders and we have other players. And the infielders was 4. 4 plus the other players on the field equals 9. Missing add-in, we're going to flip it over. 9 minus 4 equals 5. So what we're really looking for is we're looking for this equation. And well, let's see what they say. A says some number plus 5 equals 9. Some number plus 4. That's not it. B says 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4 equals 13. You don't have 13 baseball players, so that one is out. B says 4 plus some number equals 9. And that's the equation that we came up with. Okay? Now, guys, I agree with you. 9 minus 4 equals 5 is what you probably were thinking, but we're thinking missing add-in today. Missing add-in, so we're going to set up our equations like that. Okay, well, let's do a couple. In lesson practice, let's do A. A's written horizontally. I'm going to write it vertically, you too. 35 plus some number, M, equals 67. Whenever we have a missing add-in, what are we going to do? We're going to subtract. So let's flip this over. 67 minus 35. 7 minus 5 is 2, and 6 minus 3 is 3. M equals 32. Let's sub it back in now. Now, if you don't like subbing it back in, you can just write over here. 35 plus 32. 5 plus 2 is 7. 3 plus 3 is 6. Oh, you nailed it. All right, let's do one more. Let's do C. I'm just going to write it over here because I don't have enough room in mine because I write so big so you can see it. C says 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus F equals 30. Now, guys, when we have a whole slew of numbers like this, remember what we're going to do. We're going to add first, then subtract. So go ahead and rewrite it. 5 plus 7 plus 9. And then let's add it up. 9 plus 7 is 16. Plus 5 more is 26. So all three of these numbers you can get rid of and put a 26 in there. So here we go. 26 plus F equals 30. Two-step problem now. Now we got to flip it over, and we'll take 30 minus, pardon my ugly zero, 30 minus 26. And now we got to borrow. So go ahead, smaller number is on top, so we got to borrow across the 3. I'll make it a 2. 10 minus 6 is 4. Boy, that kind of seems pretty small. Well, let's sub it back in there. 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 4 equals 30. Trying to make partners of a 10. Yeah, can't do it with this problem. So 5 plus 7 is 12. Plus 9 more is 21. Plus 4 equals not. I did something. Oh my goodness. What a great example. I did something wrong. 5 plus 7 is 12. Plus 9 is 21. Plus 4 is 25. And I needed to come up with 30. Uh-oh. So this is a prime time example that where we sub these back in, we can check it. Well, let's see where I went wrong here. 5 plus 7 is 12 plus 9 more is 21, and I put 26. There's my problem. And so now we got to fix it over here. Now what? 21 plus F equals 30, and now when we flip this over, we'll have 30 minus 21, and that gives us 9. Now let's try it again. 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 9 equals. And 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 9 is 21, plus 9 more is 30. And when it checks out like that, then you know you did it right. Okay? So here was the issue and the problem where I followed through, and it didn't come out right, so we had to check what was going on. All right, guys. Your assignment today is 1 through 30. Remember, whenever we're going to subtract to find a missing number, we're going to flip that over. Flip the missing add-in over, and then subtract to solve it. Check them at the end, so if you make mistakes like I did, then you can always correct those.